Yo, what's up? It's Jacob. I played like three. Yeah, it's definitely three betas. And I had a lot of fun with them for the most part. I want to talk about all three of those betas, so let's get right into it. And I want to start with a game called Gundam Breaker 4. This game had a open network test. I forget the dates off the top of my head. I have to look it up, but it was this past week. Um, it was only three sessions over the course of like 2 days. I think it was like from 5 to 10 p.m. Pacific, and then the morning it was like 6 in the morning till or like 2 in the morning till like 10 in the morning, and then they came back with another 5 to 10. I only played the first one on that Thursday. So here are my thoughts. You guys know I'm really into Gundam. I like mechas. It's like my whole thing. Fucking love it. What is this game, you ask? Well, I got this thing called Gunpla, right? It's the only one I built, but you make mobile suits from Gundam shows out of plastic pieces, right? Piece by piece. So as you can see here with this trailer footage, that you could put your own Gunpla together, but then you take them on missions where you actually like fight other suits or whatever. It's like you go on like basically a beat 'em up fest. Um, so here's my thoughts with the game. I mean, first of all, it's cool to be able to make your own mobile suits piece by piece. You can mix and match, so if you want to have like the arm of a Zaku and then a Gundam arm and then mix and match like weapons and of ranged and melee, and then you have special abilities all tied to pieces. Like overall, I think it is a cool concept for a game. The execution on the other hand is a little lacking, at least in the combat. Like when you're building the suits, that's kind of fun. You go on the missions to collect the pieces, so that the pieces, like think of like RPGs or whatever, or like think of like a looter shooter. It's like that but with parts, and each part kind of can be a better like quality than another one and give you like better stats essentially. So you can have like a lot of copies of the same piece that aren't as good as the other copies of the piece you have. So there's that kind of thing going on, and then again, it was just an open network test, so I think really all they're trying to do is just test their servers to see if like they can handle a lot of people logging on at the same time. So like, should I judge the game for a open network test without the word beta in the title? Not really. However, like all the missions I played were like okay, like it felt like a PS3 fighter, if that makes sense, or like that kind of era of like just a beat 'em up. There was only three missions you could do, back to that I know of, but there are other modes that will come into the final game, so I'm hoping it's better. But the three missions I played, just kind of showed off like how the controls are, like how the combos kind of work. It's kind of basic, you know what I mean, from what I understand. Like gameplay wise, I really enjoy SD Gun and Battle Alliance a lot more. But with that, you're just picking the suits and earning the suits, rather than like putting together a freaking mobile suit from like scratch, right? So that's kind of the trade off. This game's like action is just kind of like maybe it's better in the full game, but like collecting the pieces, fun. Putting together the Gundams and the mobile suits is fun. That's sort of my verdict with what I played. So let me show you some screenshots I have. So at the very beginning, this was like the first time I could like modify my mobile suit, because you just start with the Grandpa Gundam. If you know, you know. That's the RX-782. That's the Gundam from the original Gundam TV show from like late 70s. It is iconic and always great to start with Grandpa. I still need to build the Grandpa in real life, of course. But you just start with a Grandpa and then you start collecting pieces. So I think a Zaku arm on his right. So as you can see, he has sort of a boxy shield on his arm. And I don't know if you can see my mouse. Yes. You see this? This is like the Zaku arm, but the rest of this thing is still just the Gundam, essentially. I think I just changed some of the colors on it. So he has two shields, but like that's cool. Like just that concept is fun. Here's another suit I put together that was part. Oh my god, it's the suit that uh, it's a suit that Char uses in Char's counterattack. A lot of the pieces, but then some of the other pieces were like from other Federation suits, or I guess in that case, yeah, no, I think it would be the Xeon. Fuck, the Federation of Xeon. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head. I didn't take notes like I was supposed to. I had kind of a crazy week, but I'm just saying this mobile suit looks like normal. Like, oh yeah, I can see that suit showing up. Well, actually, it's not because it's like hodgepodge pieces, but I gave it like the coat of paint as Sazabi. That's the name of the mobile suit. So it has like the Sazabi paint on the whole thing, and some of the Sazabi pieces, but he's holding the RX-782 rifle, and this blade is from a different Gundam from a completely different show. So like, you know, and of course you can use them in different ways. So like, I don't know. I want to see more. Like you can't stop me from buying this game because I'm a Gundam fan, and like putting together mobile suits is like just a cool concept, even if the combat isn't like perfect. But anyway, I didn't play a lot of it, but I just want to give you my thoughts. Gundam Breaker 4. I will buy it. I'll give you guys more thoughts later when I've actually played the game. But even before that, which I've captured this footage from, that was Concord. I played a bit of that. I played it the first beta weekend, I believe, was if you didn't pre-order the game, but you had PS Plus, you could play it on PS5. I like to play shooters on PC, so I wasn't able to start with PC. But here we get another look. So this is Concord on PS5. That's what this footage is captured from. I'm gonna hit play, but I do want to just show you guys this like lineup real quick. This game is a hero shooter. It's gonna be $40, much like Helldivers was, right? A multiplayer only game, same kind of concept. Although I feel like at least with Helldivers, it's more of a unique concept, and it is interesting the way that they implement it and stuff. They're doing like weekly or like constant like content, or you know, to keep it fresh or just kind of mix things up. This game's going to do the same kind of thing, like maybe weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, like updates to like a storyline that you're following. Kind of makes me think of Sea of Thieves with their tales they're doing like these tale things every so often that like led up to a big point where the players decided like what went down. I mean, it'd be cool if like Concord did something in that vein, but like, you know, overall, like Concord is a hero shooter. It is like, you know, name one, right? Valorant is one of them, right? That you probably know and play. Overwatch was like the first really big one. Marvel Rivals is coming out. This game is another hero shooter. But what's interesting about it is it doesn't borrow a lot from MOBAs like hero shooters kind of did to start. It feels more like an arena game, like a Halo, or like especially like a Call of Duty. Just with the way like the spawns are and the way you just kind of like run and gun. But then it's also a combination with a hero shooter where like all these characters have different abilities. You know what I mean? You want to like balance out your team with the right people. Like some people can heal, some people are tanks. You know, you've heard all this before. It's the same type of stuff. But as you can see, this character right here is sort of like the Sombra, right? She's like fast and she can jump around, like teleport. But then, you know, you got a healer here, you got a healer here, you got a tank, you have a sniper. I believe she's a sniper. This person's really interesting. So like, I think their powers are cool. I think the game is fun on PC. I played it on PS5. It was okay, but I don't like playing FPS games on controller if I can help it. But here's some gameplay. I just kind of skipped ahead there. This might have been our first match where I was like confused. So let me jump ahead a little bit here, so you can get a better idea. So yeah, it looks like I was using a character with the machine gun. Oh, it was like the grandma character. Oh my gosh, this captured footage is rough from Twitch. I did it straight from PS5 to Twitch rather than like through the capture card or whatever. But you can at least get an idea of it. Sorry if it's a little jittery. but yeah, I mean, so like, same thing, you can see the people through the walls, they all have their abilities. There's no ults, so that's why I say it's not much like a MOBA. That, cuz I feel like ults are a big part of it. It's like, oh, like your stuff's on cooldown or you have abilities. Every character has a different ability. There's me walking right into the fire. Um, you know, you want to balance those abilities out. You want to know what's on cooldown. You want to know what all your abilities are. Like every character has unique abilities. Like that kind of stuff is the same, but it's like without an ult, there's no like you're not building any true momentum other than just the score. Whereas in like MOBA games and hero shooters, typically you are building toward that ult, and that ult's building to a moment. It's like how do you spend it? Like does it like really modify the game? This game it really shies away from that in a really big way, which is, I mean, that's their design decision, and I don't think that makes the game inherently bad. I think it's taking the more casual aspects of a shooter, like I said, Call of Duty, or just like having fun in Halo or whatever, like an arena shooter, um, where you respawn wherever, you should be grouping up with your team anyway in any first person shooter like PvP game. You know, it's just there's something about this game where I look at it and I'm like, there's all these free games that are good, including hero shooters that I could play for free. Why would I buy this for $40? Like, does it have enough personality? I mean, it has personality. It is different, but is it different enough to be like, I need to buy this? I really just don't know. Like, it doesn't get like it. I don't get that like feeling inside myself where I'm like, I really got to get this game. Everyone's gonna play it. Like, it didn't hit peak like good peak numbers apparently. Like I heard that a lot, and especially during a beta, you'd assume like a lot of people want to jump in, especially if it's an open beta anyone can download. The concurrents weren't really high either. So like that tells you a story that like a lot of people aren't really interested in even trying out Concord. Maybe they didn't get the word out, and maybe that's why it didn't get so much traction. But it just makes you think like, why would I invest in a game that not a lot of people are going to play? And I don't know about you, but I've done that before. Looking at you, Hood Outlaws and Legends, which wasn't that great of a game. I'm not saying this is a bad game, but just what I've experienced in that realm of stuff, where it's like, you wasted your money. You wasted your money on a game no one's playing, and you can't even play it because you need players to play it to be able to play it yourself. You know what I mean? And so like, it's almost like there's a snowball effect of people like looking at this game and thinking like, well, I don't want to buy it. Well, my friend doesn't want to buy it, so I don't want to buy it. Oh, well, no one's buying it, so I'm not buying it. So it's like no one's going to buy this game. So like, I mean, but is that true? I don't know. Again, is the gameplay fun? Yeah, I had fun on PC. Not good on PS5. Don't think so. But that's just maybe my personal thing. But I'll just play Overwatch. That's just kind of where I'm sitting at. You know what I mean? I'm like, do I really want to do this? And even for more context too, I don't even play Overwatch anymore. I think that I'm sort of over the hero shooter thing a little bit. I've thought about maybe fucking around with Valorant because I like Counter-Strike. But then like the thought, it's like the thought of having to learn all these heroes or characters and all their abilities and the matchups. I mean, like, would I want to put my time in that? Or would I want to put that time to like Street Fighter and learning up matchups, learning like that's a different type of game that I don't normally play. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Like, I will not pick up Concord unless everyone I know is like, yo, we're all playing Concord. Or clearly, if it's free. If the game's free, I'll play it. Simple as that. So I don't know. I'm rooting for it. I hope it works out. I hope they figure out what to do with this title. But I mean, like, it's almost like Dreams, right? Dreams came out. I know that was like way more successful. But like, it just kind of came and went because they didn't like put it out in a way that made a lot of sense. And in my brain, with that game, should have been out on PC. Makes a shit ton of sense to me. I don't know. Let's do the last game that I'm really into, which blew me away because I thought about playing it. My friend told me about it. I downloaded and played the shit out of it with friends. Shout outs to Arturo and Haas. We played a bunch of this game. It's called Throne and Liberty. It is a upcoming free-to-play MMO. If you know me, I'm usually like, I don't want to play MMOs. I am done with MMOs. I don't have time for one game to eat up my whole life. Everybody wants me to play Final Fantasy 14. don't play it. Well, I played it a little. That's the thing, right? I played it a bit, but then like unless you buy the game, because it's free to play, but not really, unless you actually physically buy a copy of the game, you can't even DM people. Which I understand they're trying to control like spam or something, but it's like this is not the way. But you know, guess what game's free? Throne and Liberty. Guess what game I enjoyed playing that was an MMO? Throne and Liberty. So let's talk about it real quick. You can see me playing the game. What makes this game unique and interesting is what you're witnessing right now. Is you can shapeshift into stuff, right? So there I am turning into a wolf. You just saw it if you looked. Which is rather than getting on a horse like in an RPG MMO game like this to like go long distances or like get in a vehicle or something, you turn into a fucking wolf and you run faster. I mean, that's interesting. You could get different forms. And then with, with morphing is what it's called. You have other options too. Like if you could turn into an eagle, like if you jump off a high place, you're now flying, right? It's not perfect because you have stamina, so you can't go like super long distances, but you can get to places, and that's interesting because you're like, in a lot of RPGs and stuff, you're like, oh, that's a long drop, I'm gonna have to run around. In this game, you're like, that's a long drop, let me just glide down, and you can. And then the same with going in the water, you can turn into some kind of like otter. But you also get like custom morphs, like special morphs that I don't know, there's one that I wasn't able to figure out how it works. But the other one was like the special morph where like as you play through the game and you finish like specific quests or like optional things, you can get like these special forms to turn into. Like I could turn into a fucking like a spider. I think I had one. I had like a scorpion type of thing. I could turn into a goblin. There was a few other ones too that I had unlocked. Kind of like with New World, your builds are tied to your weapons and like how you decide to like level those skills up essentially that you get from like the weapons. Like basically you don't have to use the weapon a lot to unlock skills, you just have to be like the level. So like I could see you maybe respecing pretty easily in the future. It's just that like you get consumable items that like essentially level up your skills, and you do get that with a lot of things in this game. So it's like at some point you do pick what your build is, but I could see like somehow being able to like respec seems kind of like more simple than like having to like go to a respecker and like reallocate an entire skill tree or something. I don't know, it just, to me it's cool. And like even if you had no skills, you could just pick up any weapon and use it and have like this all the skills of the level that you are. They just wouldn't be like leveled up like the ones you had originally picked. So anyway, just food for thought. It has that same kind of system. As you can see, I'm running around here, and like when you do side quests, they're showing up with the little diamond gem thing above the head, so you know which thing I'm doing. Let me skip ahead a bit here. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in this area because we were trying to do like these quests. Okay, so as for like other gameplay ideas, like, so this game is from a Korean developer, so it has those tendencies of like a lot of systems, and like a lot of stuff going on that'll keep you playing like a lot, or like things you gotta click like every like so often. You go into your menu, you're like, oh, this battle passes thing popped. Oh, my leveling log, this thing's done. Redeem that. You have to go into another menu, redeem these other things. Like it reminds me of kind of like a mobile game, the way mobile games are these days, where like you play a bunch and then you like go into a screen and you got all these like exclamation points on everything, and you got to like click through and like complete like these things that you completed by clicking on them to get the reward. So it's like, it's got that thing going for it, which is like, all right, that can get like tedious, I guess, but like the game keeps you engaged the whole time, like, and that's not really that bad either. It's just like, I'm just calling it out. But like overall, like I'm playing this game and I'm like, I don't play MMOs anymore, but it has its hooks in me, and that counts for something, especially me. So I really like the game. I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be free. You should check it out too. Throne and Liberty. It is one of those PvP VE games. I did not see any PvP during what I played, but some friends kept going with it. I just didn't have time, and they had, they were in some PvP situations that were kind of crazy. So we'll see how like hardcore it gets or what that PvP is like. But it's fun. It's a good time. You can have two like weapon types at the same time, so like you're not locked to just sword and shield. Like you might have noticed, but oh, here's me clicking through some of these fun forms, by the way. Um, but like I was saying, yeah. I mean, by the way, look at this. I'm like a chocobo kind of. That's super cool. Like instead of the wolf, this is like another one of the forms. It's like so dynamic and interesting. But yeah, so like you might have seen me like in combat where I had the sword and the shield, but I kept pulling out crossbows. Like crossbows are like my second like weapon I have equipped at all times. So like I'm focusing on being a tank. I'm like getting all the tanky items. I'm using the sword and the shield and like trying to use all the tankiest like options and skills. But then I also have a couple crossbows, and so I pull those out to do like a little damage. So like in combat, I not only have like a rotation of skills of just sword shield, but on my skill bar I also have the crossbows, and so I can use them even if I'm not currently using that as my active weapon. So like I'm just switching around from like bashing, slashing, pushing people down, dashing forward, and then pulling out my bow and doing like a skill, and then pulling out the sword and shield like again automatically. So that's what's fun about the game. Like I think the combat keeps you on your toes. The quest variety is great. I don't feel like I was doing the same thing over and over again, which is a big problem with these MMOs. Oh, kill like 10 bugs and then come back. Oh, find me like 5 orc braids or something. Like that stuff does happen, but then it's always like throwing something new at you. Like the story is like not the best story ever, but it's like happening, and it's like I don't know, every part of the story is like kind of, it's not just like phoned in. So that's a good thing. I don't know. I like this game. I think it's a lot of fun. I know it's been out in Korea for a while. So if you want more information on it, you might be able to see more gameplay if you just kind of look that up. But yeah, overall, like I endorse it. I think it's good. I can't wait till it comes out. I found it interesting that this was the game I had the most fun with. Yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to do like sort of a platforming puzzle where I'm supposed to like glide the eagle all the way to get the egg, which I will show you. And if I can fast forward here. Yeah, let's see. I think I went too far. There. Yeah. What the hell? Oh, because I teleported. Sorry, I'm getting lost in the sauce. But I did fly down. Yeah, and then the gear system is like fine. But yeah, if you don't mind like some mobile game tendencies of like making sure you click rewards or something, or like having to use multiple items that have a percentage of failure to like upgrade stuff, which by the way, almost nothing failed in my time. You'll love this game, especially if you have some people to play with. We're gonna start a guild and call ourselves the Neon Knights. That'll be dope. And again, it's free. We just talked about this with Concord. A free game is cool. By the way, do you see that like leaf? That was our symbol. Sweet leaf. Cool. So those are the 3 betas I played. I thought they were all, fun. I had fun with all of them. Like I said, even Gundam Breaker 4, which I was probably the lowest on, I'm still going to buy it because I'm a Gundam simp and I can't wait to build my own mobile suits with all the parts. And I think maybe there's like a lot more to that game that I wasn't able to play yet. And I know I'm going to have some multiplayer friends to engage with as well. I showed you my suits. Oh, there's one suit I actually didn't show you that I will right now. And one suit I should have took a picture of, but like the beta ran out of time, which I'm sad about because I made him all gold and he was really cool looking. But yeah, this guy right here, Kind of hard to see, but again, completely different, right? Like all three of those suits looked completely different, and that's what's cool about it. And you can get really detailed with the paints. So, yeah, I enjoyed myself. You ever find betas that are coming out? You have some time, try them out. You know, a lot of times they're multi-platform and they're cross-platform. You know, so like I was playing with friends on like Xbox that I was on PC and vice versa, whatever, PS5. I think with all these damn betas, you know, so keep putting the betas out. I'll keep playing them. I'll keep talking about them. Check out the rest of the content here on Neon Gaming Dimension, as you can see right there, right? Also, just putting this out there. If they're watching this video tomorrow, which is Friday, the day it comes out, 7/26/24. That is the day of the the Olympic opening ceremony for Olympics 2024. I'm not gonna edit that up. We are going to do a stream at twitch.tv/oddvalley. We're going to play a drinking game. We're going to watch the entire opening ceremony. We're going to stream it. So come check us out, drink along, or just watch along with us. Opening ceremony should be fun. It all starts at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope to see you there in the chat. And then, that's beyond that, of course. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@neongamingdimension, where we have all our content. And then don't forget as well, Neon Pocket Dimension, our weekly podcast. We didn't do one this week. We actually had Gage and Steven react to some movie trailers. We put those videos out on Thursday. That's when I'm recording this. For some great movies, Joker, Borderlands, a couple other ones, I think. So check out all our content. That's youtube.com/@neon pocket dimension. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it to be interesting, enlightening, maybe, on some of these games. Maybe you're interested. Maybe you're like Concord. I don't know. Now you know. Throne and Liberty, good game. Try that shit out. Try them all out. Try every game out. That should be my new motto. And with that, I bid you adieu. Good night.